Hello, so today we are going to talk about ways of representing chemical reactions. All right, but before we do that, we're going to look at what is a chemical reaction. Firstly, we need to understand the term chemical reaction. So, a chemical reaction is a rearrangement of atoms in which one or more compounds are changed into a new compound. All right, so chemical reaction is a rearrangement. So our first keyword here is rearrangement of atoms in which one or more compounds are changed into a new compound. So our key words when defining the term chemical reaction is number one, rearrangement. Secondly, changed, all right, and thirdly, into a new compound. All right, so it is the rearrangement of what? Of atoms. So the atoms are being rearranged, so they are being rearranged. All right, your atoms are being rearranged and changed into a new compound. All right, so to understand this, we're going to do just one quick small experiment to understand exactly and to see what a chemical reaction is. Okay, so we have over here our two glasses. We have our two champagne glasses here. All right, so we have substance A and substance B. Okay, we have substance A and substance B. Substance A is our vinegar. All right, so you know vinegar, you can have it in white or in a clear or black color. So we have our vinegar. The color doesn't matter. We have vinegar over here, and we have the powder substance here. It's our bicarbonate of soda. So we're going to mix these two substances to get a new one. All right, so we're going to mix our vinegar and our bicarbonate of soda to get a new product. So where these two substances, the vinegar and the bicarbonate of soda, is what we call our reactants. This is what we call the reactants of the chemical reaction. So these are our reactants. So when we mix them together, they are going to react. There's going to be a reaction that is taking place, which will lead to a new product or new compound. All right, so let's see what happens as we mix vinegar and bicarbonate of soda. Right, so I'll pour this. So as I pour our bicarbonate, this is what we call a chemical reaction. So a chemical reaction, yes, a chemical reaction is taking place. All right, this is what we call a chemical reaction. So what is happening right now? It's a chemical reaction. All right, and then we have what we call a new product. We have now a new product, or we have a new compound. All right, so this is how we simply represent a chemical reaction or explain our reactants and our product. Okay, so as the reaction has taken place, we have seen, wow, a beautiful reaction. There we have to write down or express down what the reaction is. So we need to write down either in words or in a picture or in a chemical equation what has taken place. So the first chemical equation that we're going to look at is a word equation. All right, so the first way of representing a chemical reaction is by using what we call a word equation. All right, so a word equation represents a chemical reaction in terms of words. So the key word for word equation is words. So it represents our chemical reaction in terms of words. All right, so word equation, what does it do? Represents our chemical reaction. So the chemical reaction that took place here. So it represents, let's see if we can do it again. It represents this. So this chemical reaction, we can represent it in words. All right, so this is what we call a word equation, right? And our first example is hydrogen plus oxygen giving us water. So because it's a word equation, we're going to write our hydrogen in words, write our oxygen in words as well, and write our product water in words. Another example is carbon dioxide plus water. It gives us glucose and oxygen. So all these are written in words. So I want you to take just 30 seconds and give me an example of a word equation that you have seen or that you can think of. Okay? And the second way of representing a chemical reaction is by pictures. All right, so we have our picture. You can represent your chemical reaction using pictures. So the definition is represents chemical reactions in terms of pictures. These pictures are called the submicroscopic diagrams. So these are what we call the submicroscopic diagrams. So submicroscopic diagrams are diagrams that you imagine. So when you close your eyes, this is how you see the diagram. And our third way of representing a chemical reaction is by a chemical equation. All right, the third way of representing a chemical reaction is by a chemical equation. So a chemical equation, it represents your chemical reaction in terms of chemical formula or symbols. So it uses the symbols. So the symbols that you see at your periodic table, we use those to represent the chemical equation or to represent the chemical reaction using a chemical equation. All right, so for example, using our first example that we used for the word equation, we're going to use hydrogen plus oxygen giving us what? Giving us water. So we're going to use hydrogen giving us plus oxygen giving us water. So the symbols for hydrogen is H. H. So we're going to write H for hydrogen, O for oxygen, and the product is what? Is water, and our product is H2O. H2O for water. So when you are representing a chemical a reaction using a chemical equation, please note that our equation in science, all right, our scientific equation, it uses an arrow, but in your mathematics it uses a what? An equal sign. So when you are writing in science, you're going to use an arrow to show what? To show your product. And in mathematics we use an equal sign. So remember, H and oxygen are our reactants and they give us water. Thank you.